Launched in the year 2017, the Ghana Post GPS addressing system was intended to harmonize property addressing in the country and to make finding of locations and giving of directions a lot more systematic and easier. Persons and institutions anticipated were going to immediately benefit from the system were emergency services, government agencies, financial institutions, and other public and corporate organizations requiring accurate locations to carry out their activities. But really, beyond the embossment of walls and properties, has this Ghana Post GPS addressing system served its purpose? 8 years on, how well is its uptake and usage amongst Ghanaians?
So most often we just come to work around 7:30 early in the morning. Just try to pick 1 or 2 calls, and then we track our customers on our B2B apps. I mean, we have other people that we trade with, we partner with, and keep their stocks here. So we just check on their app to see if there is any order that we have to just carry out. Yes, that's how we go about.
Bernard Kwesi Arthur is a sales manager for Dexbro Trade and Logistics Company, a delivery and courier service in the Oforikrom municipality of the Ashanti region. Here in his office, his duty is cut out, receiving orders, picking up packages, and dispatching them to specific locations. I ask him whether he makes use of the Ghana Post GPS digital addressing system in finding locations of his clients.
Mostly we're using Google Map, and then Ghana Post also came in, but we are still relying on the Google Map. Yes. And one thing I like about the Google Map is that when you search for the location and then you want to be directed to the exact place, oh, trust me, you have it, you get it on a perfect scale. More than the Ghana Post. With that one, when you just put in the person's digital address, it just misleads you, it just puts it to somewhere else, of which, if you don't have any fair idea about where you are going, you will definitely be misled.
Bernard is not alone. Finding locations is everything to ride-hailing cab drivers. The Ghana Post GPS addressing app has linked its systems to Uber and Yango. Yet, the drivers hardly find any passenger making orders with the Ghana Post GPS addresses. Kelvin, a cab driver, tells me using landmarks and the usual Google locations works much easier.
The most requests that I get, it comes from the popular landmarks that we know, you get it, that's on the map. That's what most people used to request. Okay. But me personally, I've never experienced, that's digital addressing before. Not really.
Why not?
Because as I said earlier on, because there are a lot of popular landmarks around, you get it, and that is what most people use. Me per se, I'm never going to try that because I don't think it's actually working. Seriously, you get it. So I'll always go in for a popular landmark around where I want to go or something, you get it.
In the Central Business District of Kumasi, the bold signages of Multi-Credit Savings and Loans Limited, one of Ghana's oldest microfinance institutions, hangs in front of its headquarters. For an institution offering loans to small and medium-scale enterprises, usually in the informal sector, finding debtors for collection is key. Though a requirement under the financial institutions is to take details of the Ghana Post GPS addresses of clients, Operations Officer Samuel Ansu Adecheme raises issues about the accuracy of the addressing system. A problem, he says, compels loan officers to physically visit the location of clients to take extra location details as a matter of due diligence.
In terms of locating locating customers where they are, it's been helpful. Of course, there are a bit of, we have some challenges with the system, accuracy issues, but it's helpful. Sometimes it's difficult to get their physical addresses. Some of them don't even remember the house number, plot number. Some houses don't even have such details. And also, during the assessment process for different loans, and there's a lot of meticulous work at the background. You have to go and see where they are. But accuracy issues, and those are the challenges we face.
The Ghana Post GPS addresses were also anticipated to help emergency services swiftly and accurately attend to distress calls. Indeed, on the Ghana Post GPS app, all emergency services, including fire, police and the ambulance, could be contacted directly from the app. Checks with the Ghana National Fire Service, however, indicates that there is yet to be a technical tie-in which communicates locations and GPS directions to the service.
Our systems have not been fitted with that yet. So as of now, in our control rooms, on our tenders, we don't have those systems on it. But we would love to have it because I'm sure it can make our work a lot more easier.
Ashanti Regional Communications Officer for the Fire Command, DO2 Peter Adai, says his officers still use landmarks and other adapted methods to find fire scenes. The danger, he fears, is that delayed response could prove costly, if not fatal.
What happens is if somebody has any emergency, they call us on our emergency lines and they give us a lot of the time the landmark, maybe the location of the place and the landmarks, and that is what we use to locate the location of the emergency to attend to them. There are times it's difficult for them to describe, especially when they themselves do not know the area very well. Sometimes people even use food sellers and other maybe notable places that are closer to the scene. And for instance, in cases where you get there and the food seller is not there, what happens? It becomes difficult locating the facility. But aside that, we also have our own way of locating the facility.
The Ghana Post GPS digital addressing system cost the government some $2.5 million to procure, enough to provide 10 regions in Ghana at least 10 6-unit classroom blocks. But is the taxpayer whose money was used to build this digital addressing system bothered about using it? Question I put to some Ghanaians.
Ivan, thank you very much. With my experience with the GPS address, I would say that per our country setting, our system setting, it hasn't really served its purpose as it was based on to be instituted, because the illiteracy rate in our country is very high. So it's being used by people is actually on a minimal note. You get it? Because I barely see people using the GPS address in terms of giving directions to people, or it takes the few literates to use that. Even them, let's ask ourselves that how many people use that?
Even though the app can use Google Maps and its own navigation platform, Fameko, which translates "take me there" in the Akan language, hardly are the addresses used for giving directions.
To even give directions to their houses and all. Me, for instance, I've actually not used it for direction purposes before. It is only for formality, that is filling of documents, or let me say forms or something, etc. That is when I would use the GPS address, because barely would I see people requesting for that for a direction to probably my house.
Hospitals, schools, etc. The world is continually being awakened to the global concept of demanding accountability for digital public infrastructure like the Ghana Post GPS, which costs countries millions of dollars. The concept assesses such infrastructure on cost, whether it offers society-wide solutions, its ability to share usable data with other institutions, its accessibility, security, inclusivity, and how it enables easy identification and digital financial transactions. Digital solutions expert and trainer with Wheezy Innovations Hub, Kwesi Arthur, explains why the Ghana Post GPS addressing system is struggling to meet the DPI criteria.
The failings of such a system is not new to the Ghana Post GPS. It's usually quite symptomatic of technical products like apps and tech products, because usually when people are building a tech product, they are looking at just one side. just the technical qualities of it and not the marketing side that leads to the adaptation of the product. Because at the end of the day, when you build it, people need to adapt it, make it like a part of their everyday lives. But I think that side wasn't really properly worked on in terms of the strategy, and so the adaptation has been slow. So, but even before the adaptation bit, I know a few people also have some technical issues with the product, with the Ghana Post GPS. Some people are saying at different corners of your house it gives different addresses. Some people think the code generated is a bit too long for you to remember. So a few technical hitches, are there that needs to be worked on. But I think the major problem was with the marketing and how long-term it should have been, And generally, anything internet-based is going to be very slow in adaptation in Ghana because data is an issue. That's also one thing I feel like they did not look at, because even the banks now are looking at other ways to get their services to people without the internet, because data cost is a problem and reliability is also a problem. Because sometimes you go to the hinterlands and places like that and internet is not there, even when you have the money to buy. So banks are using USSD and stuff like that.
Officers of oforikrom, the company that designed the digital address, have declined any comments, except to say that the digital addressing system is in phases but has been truncated by frustrating bureaucracies from government. While this waits to get fixed, however, financial institutions, emergency services, and other businesses that deal with location are open to any localized solution that helps them find directions and locations with exactitude.
So the whole point is, generating the code is one thing, but addressing is not just about generating codes. So when you see an address, usually you should be able to decipher if you know what that address means. So our streets are not properly named. All those foundations have to be fixed before these things can properly work. So that when you write your code for me, by the code you write for me, I can tell where you live without having to punch it in. So maybe I know that AK means this street in this neighborhood. When we know it's like that, and then there's a number, the number gives you an idea. So you know how to, envisage where you're going, even in your mind, before the app takes you there.
As at fire service, response time is critical. If you're able to respond to emergency early, it helps save lives and property. So once these things are available and we have them in place, it will help us improve upon our response time.
With the new administration of President John Dramani Mahama taking over government, it is unclear the fate of the $2.5 million Ghana Post digital addressing system, especially when the administration, while in opposition, described the investment as a rip-off and a duplication of already existing GPS addressing platforms and an abandonment of a street naming and property addressing system which was ongoing before the NPP government took over in 2016. This feature is produced under the Digital Public Infrastructure Africa Journalism Fellowship Program of the Media Foundation for West Africa and co-develop. Reporting for GH1 News, Ivan Heathcote Fumado, Ultimate FM, Kumasi.